So they've tightened their budget. I'm very proud of that. Questions about the sewer department? Stormwater, page 72 and 73, also has an increase of $3,384,000. However, $5,621,000 of that is grant funding. So again, they actually have reduced their budgets. Questions? Sanitation, $3,005,000. This is the healthiest of the enterprise funds, and they will be purchasing 2 side loader garbage trucks next year to replace 2 that were damaged by lightning several years ago. Questions about sanitation? Enterprise impact fees, again, same explanation. You have never seen these before. They now are in their own budgets. They were in the enterprise funds before. Water will be $144,000, sewer $521,000, and stormwater $95,000. Questions about the impact fees? Pages 76 through 78, that's our disaster recovery. Again, $21 million this year. The lion's share of the projects will be completed. I'm confident I will come back with another budget for next year. However, it will be substantially less and primarily funded by insurance. Questions about the disaster fund?
I just had a question, but it has nothing to do with the money. When do we plan, or do we have a date or a time when we're going to replace the 2 border signs?
Yes.
City hall signs?
Yes.
Or the city signs?
The city signs that the Mosley kids did. Is that what you're talking about? The
kids
entrance
designed
sign?
them
Yes.
a couple years ago or
So
that.
yeah, that is, I think that is still in the hands of the design, and then it'll go out to bid, and then it will be constructed. I think it's actually in economic development budget that we're going to do that this year. It's a
Anything
great
else?
project, and they've taken what the Mosley student did and enhanced it even more as we check with them. It's going to be very nice when they finish.
COVID expenditures on page 79, we put $5,000 in there just for cleaning supplies, masks, and the whatnot, just in case. Questions about that? And lastly, the surtax. This is the half cent that is sent to us we have used it primarily in the past for paving projects. We are also going to use $850,000 of it for legislative stormwater match repairs. So there'll be $3,126,000 for surtax. And that's the budget.
Thank you. At this time, we'll allot time for the public to ask questions. Mr. Scray.
Ryan Scray, Missouri Avenue. A few questions. First, the stormwater assessment budget that you put in there, you said you kept it the same as last year. I'm just curious why, because Stantec's recommending it be increased, so why wouldn't you plan for an increase?
Because the commission didn't vote on the increase.
But you could still plan for one when the expert's telling you to increase it. But okay.
Hey, Brian, just for clarification, once that's put on the tax roll, you can go down, but you can't go up. So we had to have something there as a placeholder for the tax roll for the assessment. So at that point, you can't.
So you can go down but not up. So if the
that's
commission were to vote later today to increase the stormwater assessment, you can't decrease it?
You would have,
can't
we would have to
increase.
send mailed notices to every
single
parcel owner in the city.
So wouldn't it have made more sense to plan for an increase and then to just decrease it so you didn't have to do that?
If the commission wanted to increase it, but I think their goal was to try to find grant funding and alternate sources and keep your non-ad valorem assessments low.
All right. In the marketing budget, I saw $30,000 for printing and binding that wasn't previously forecasted. What is that?
Excuse me. That is our city newsletter that we send out to residents now. It is actually, we do it in-house, make all the adjustments in-house, and then we send it to printing and stuff into the utility bills. Just another way to communicate with all of our residents. what
Okay,
all
so it's
things
just
go.
additional costs for the extra insert into the utility bill?
Printing and insert.
Okay. And then, at the beginning, you mentioned that you were thanking the commissioners who met with you. Did some of them not meet with you to discuss the budget? And if so, which ones?
Me.
All right, thank you.
All right, additional questions from the public? Yes. Yep. Please come to the microphone so we can hear you.
You have done a page on the debt service calendar, page 10. Okay. Do you have a calendar of the debts that we will still be owing after the fiscal year 2023? You show maturity dates, but you don't. Is that in here? No. Did not have it in here. Okay. The other question was regarding the 4.5% increase in the wastewater. Was that included already in the prices there?
All right, additional questions from the public? Mr. Walker?
Continuing on the wastewater, I do not see anywhere on any bills or any indication about wastewater charges. There's no recollection, no record of it anywhere as being a charge. And then I noticed that, discussed, a 4.5% increase in the wastewater charges. Well, I don't find anywhere where we're being charged for wastewater. Trying to find out why this and how this 4.5% increase, I have been informed or found out that wastewater is considered like sewage. Okay, and the only way to judge wastewater is to whatever comes in, which is water, is basis for what the charge is for wastewater and sewage. So in essence, what you're doing is you're increasing the charge for water, which is enterprise funds. This
Right.
commissioner has always been under the impression that the enterprise funds are not profit-making. You learned a lesson. It is. It is a business. So you're increasing the price of the water in, but you're putting into the public information that you're increasing the wastewater charge. I don't understand that, because the only way you can increase the wastewater charge, if there is a charge, is increase the inbound water. So what are we doing? Are we increasing the inbound water, or are we establishing a new charge which is not there on wastewater?
I mean, first of all, wastewater, it would be on your bill. It's probably going to say sewer. It's your sewer charge. So you have your water rate and you have a sewer rate. You're right, they do base your sewer rate on the number of gallons of water that you use. But so you have one rate for your water, and then you have a rate for your sewer, and it's just based on that metered amount. But so say it was $4 per 1,000 gallons, it went up to $4.10. I'm just making these numbers up. It went up 4%. So that's what wastewater is. What you're saying, it's the sewer on your utility bill, and it's measured and metered by the number of gallons of water that you use.
And I know we talked about this before. I'm sorry if I can speak. I know we talked about this before. For 10,000 gallons, it's about $3.13. So I actually did analysis of my family because I run a pretty tight ship in my house. And our average is about 5,500 gallons. And I read online, depending on what you read, it's about 2,000 gallons a month per person. So we got 4 people, should be 8,000. So I think we're doing pretty good. So I'm figuring an extra couple bucks a month for me.
I can understand the dialogue back. Semantics doesn't work.
All right, what's your specific question, sir? Your specific question, yes.
Yeah, it just doesn't equate. We're being spun something that is not there. For example, you get the impression when you ask the sewer people, where's the wastewater? It's not there. Where is the connection between the sewer and the wastewater? That isn't there. Sewer system is supposed to be separate from the sewage system and the wastewater. They're not. As the last rain came, you found out exactly it is not separate. So you're putting a burden on your sewage system, but you're raising the impound water to the people. Thank you.
Either Bobby or Greg can come and talk about the sewer. An enterprise fund means that it's enterprising, that is self-sufficient. And so that is one thing that should happen with each enterprise fund. And I don't think this commission has ever thought that they were not enterprising in terms of self-sufficiency. I think you've always known that they're in their own silo.
Yes, so the water and sewer enterprise funds are two separate charges. There's no connection between the water and the sewer, other than we're using the gallons through the water meter to tell you what left your house. We also cap that sewer at 12,000 gallons. So if you've had a leak or watered your garden off the household faucets, that sewer is capped at 12,000 gallons. And that's been that way forever. But the two charges are separate.
Thank you.
Thank you. Additional questions regarding the budget? Thank you all for coming out. Our next meeting will begin at